Good morning, everyone. It's 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Today is Tuesday, June 3rd, and this is Training Wheels. Training Wheels is offered through Cindy Krupp's An Open Door, and it's an hour where we explore the lessons of A Course in Miracles through a book I wrote called Training Wheels, and which is kind of a non-dual, it isn't really kind of, it's a non-dual interpretation of the daily lessons. And so we'll begin today. We are on lesson, let's see, where are we here? We are on lesson 35. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. And what I'm going to do, as Cindy has taught me to do, is to go through each one of the lessons, which I'll do until we get to lesson 50. And I'll just read all the lessons as they build upon each other and deepen our understanding. So I invite you, wherever you are, to just close your eyes. I don't know what page it is on Kindle. Maybe someone could help with that. I don't have this on Kindle. So just take your seat. I'm going to turn my video off because I find that helps me to be more present. Just relax wherever you are. Nothing I see means anything. I have given everything I see all the meaning it has for me. I do not understand anything I see. These thoughts do not mean anything. I am never upset for the reasons I think. I am upset because I see something that is not there. I see only the past. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see nothing as it is now. My thoughts do not mean anything. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. A meaningless world engenders fear. God did not create a meaningless world. My thoughts are images I have made. I have no neutral thoughts. I see no neutral things. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. I am determined to see. I am determined to see things differently. What I see is a form of vengeance. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I do not perceive my own best interests. I do not know what anything is for. My attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. Above all else, I want to see. Above all else, I want to see things differently. God is in everything I see. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. I am not a victim of the world I see. I have invented the world I see. There is another way of looking at the world. I could see peace instead of this. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. My mind is in God's mind. My mind is of God's mind. My mind is with God's mind. I am very holy. This is a quote from Elizabeth Cronkite. The personal self is obsessed with the idea of lack because it was made by your perceived separation from God, which is lack. It perceives other personal selves as real only to validate its own reality. The personal self perceives other personal selves as real only to validate the personal self's reality. The lessons now are changing as we learn more specifically about the truth of what we are. It's as if we are standing on the shores of a great ocean and saying, yes, I am worthy of knowing myself. I accept the new identity, which has always been mine, but which until now has been hidden from me. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Your true nature, joined with mine, is timeless and immortal. We are the one mind that underlies the entire manifested world. Seeing this takes desire and it takes practice. It is as though we have lived in a land that rarely sees the sun and have gotten so accustomed to the monotony of gray that we cannot imagine there might be another place that contains a whole variety of color and light. The lesson for today tells us where you come from and what you are beyond the dullness of this world. If what is true, it must always be true. Is it ever true that the sun is not there, even if it has been hidden by clouds? The personal self believes it is its own source. It believes it is its own sun. This is an idea you may not have considered before. So take a moment to allow this to sink in. You may believe you were created by God, but then you consider How many conditions do I place on Source? The Source that I say created me. For example, you may believe Source created some things good and some things bad. You may believe that Source created some things comfortable, some things uncomfortable. You may believe you should feel guilty about some thoughts that you have, about some behaviors, but not others. You may believe Source created hierarchies in which some people are more favorable than others, or some things are more favorable than others, or some behaviors, some genders, some political or religious ideas are more favored than others, more pure. But this places limits and conditions on the Source you think created you. This idea that the personal self has created itself, this very idea hidden in the unconscious mind, is so frightening, so meaningless ultimately. So we try to join with other personal selves in special relationships to validate the self's existence. We perceive other personal selves as real only to validate our own personal self's reality. But then we also insanely attack other personal selves to make ourselves appear strong. The personal self cannot question its own origins because the belief that it is independent and separate is the very foundation of its existence. But your mind is of God's, and you are one with the whole of all of it. This is the one thing you cannot choose for yourself. Today's practice period asks for 3 5-minute sessions. Try to remain mindful in between practice periods. Every mind, no matter how seemingly separate, is part of your mind and God's. This includes the guy who cuts you off in traffic or the gal who speaks rudely to you on the phone. They are part of the whole I too. They are holy, just as you are, even if they don't know it in the moment. Believe it or not, your practice today will reach their minds because all minds are joined. This is how you serve. So today's practice are a bit different. And again, there are 3. Begin as usual by taking your seat and place your awareness on your breath and relax into your body. Don't force anything, just take your time. When you feel ready, with eyes open, repeat the lesson slowly. Say to yourself, my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. And then close your eyes, keeping part of your awareness on the breath, and begin to think of various ways to describe yourself. For example, you might say, right now I feel very lonely. Right now I feel very happy. I see myself as a straight shooter. Or I see myself as sick. Or I see myself as impatient. or I see myself as successful, or I see myself as limited, or I see myself as unfulfilled, or I am happy with myself right now. You could see myself as overweight, as underweight. Be creative and be truthful. Have fun with this. Feel the feeling that arises when you describe yourself. It doesn't matter if the descriptive words are positive or negative. They are all equally unreal. Again, it doesn't matter whether the words are positive or negative. They are all equally unreal because you're not seeing yourself through the eyes of holiness, of wholeness, of oneness. There is no personal self. After you have named yourself each time, say in your mind, but my mind is very holy. I am part of God. I see myself as a daughter, but my mind is very holy. I am part of God. I see myself as a son, but my mind is very holy. I am part of God. I see myself as fearful, but I am very holy. My mind is part of God. Feel the words. There is a teaching in the way the words feel and in attuning to the way the words feel. Notice the difference between the two ways of seeing yourself. First as a personal mind, and then as part of something completely inclusive, eternal, whole, and loving. As you practice the seated meditation, you may find that no descriptive words arise in your mind, and this is fine. Don't strain yourself to come up with anything. Just go back to watching the breath and repeat the lesson gently in your mind. When a new thought arises, as it will, just watch it for what it says about the personal self. For example, a thought might arise in your mind about a recent time you had a disagreement with someone, or you were annoyed or irritated. So you might say in your mind, I see myself as argumentative, or I see myself as thoughtless, or I see myself as impatient or quick to judge. Feel this feeling, and then say to yourself, but my mind is part of God's mind. I am very holy. And now feel this feeling too. It points to your real self. As often as possible today, become aware of how you might describe yourself in the moment. You might stop and say, who do I think I am in this moment? Or what do I think I am in this moment? You might even want to write that phrase down and tape it to your refrigerator door or to your bathroom mirror so that you see it multiple times a day and you can stop and ask yourself, in this moment, what do I feel myself to be? And then repeat the attribute. But I am part of God's mind. I am very holy. And then move on. If you can't think of anything, just repeat the lesson and let the truth sink in. I am in God. My mind is of God. My mind is with God. I am whole. I am very holy. How does this lesson make you feel? Come on back and let's talk about it. I have "Who do you think you are in this moment?" taped to my bathroom mirror. And I will be brushing my teeth or doing something in the bathroom, and I catch that phrase, that question taped to the door or to the mirror. And it's amazing to me how often I am prompted to reflect on what I think I am in that moment. And oftentimes it's something separate. Oftentimes it's, I think I'm a person, or I think I am impatient, or I think whatever it is, I think a lot of the time, it is something that reinforces my separation, even if it's a positive thought. So how does this lesson find you?